Whoa, what are you doing there? I thought you were busy playing video games. I was actually, but then someone beat me in a 1v1 and called me skinny. At least you're doing something useful with your life. So how's the training going? Man, please, stop the small talk and leave me training. Okay, alright, I'll leave you be. Are you finally done? You did train a lot today. Didn't you overdo it a bit? No, I want to get jacked and show that guy who's the boss. I like your motivation, but you need to step back a bit and take it more relaxed or you're going to lose it. I can do this. You don't know what I'm made of. Just because everyone has taken it easy doesn't mean that I can't do it the hard way. Okay, but I warned you. Wow, you're still on it. I'm really impressed. I think that you actually mean it this time. I thought you never doubted me. You're always the one saying that I should better myself. Yes, and you did nothing. But now I don't have any doubts anymore. Keep on doing it. Of course.
I'm dying. Help me.
So, why aren't you training today? I have a rest day. I need to recover. Okay, but you need to get back to it the next day. And what was holding you back today? I trained too hard. I need to recover another day. Of course. So, training is off the table, right? I've just beat him in a 1v1 and now he's quiet. So, no need for training anymore. But it all went so well and I put so much faith in you. I started to train exactly 1 year ago and it was the best decision I made in my life. I was always watching a lot of self-improvement stuff, mostly on training itself, which is why I had an eager urge to work out. But I was just too lazy and always made excuses why now is not the right time. This went on for almost half a year until I finally decided to work out. I had gathered so much information that I was able to train someone else. But the start for me was very easy because my father had bought a power station a while back that I just cleaned up and then tried for a week. And I was so motivated afterwards that I instantly bought some dumbbells and from then on trained 5 days every week up until now. This was honestly the best habit for me, which is why I want you to listen very closely to what I'm going to teach you and to then instantly go out and train yourself in some form of push-ups or anything else. Anyway, here's my guide for beginning with training. First of all, you obviously have to take it seriously. If you really want to start to work out, then I would recommend that you buy yourself a 1-year membership, or at least one that is more expensive, so that this will motivate you to get there and to work out. If you want to have it a little easier, then I recommend that you just buy yourself some dumbbells and train at home. This way it will be far easier because you don't have to dress yourself when you go to the gym and can just train at home whenever you have some minutes to spare. Also prepare yourself before going to the gym or training at home. Lay down your training clothes and pack your gym bag with the most important things like your towel, your shake, your phone and headphones, changing clothes, and just everything that you need to train. It's also a very good idea that before you get to training, that you take 1 or 2 hours to just make a music playlist of your favorite and most motivational songs so that training itself will be more fun and effective. Listening to the Rocky soundtrack every time I train just pushes me to another level. What you should also do before going to the gym is that you search for a training split and all the exercises to train properly. My personal training split is that on the first day I train my arms, on the second day I train chest and back, on the third day I train legs, and on the fourth day that I train shoulders, triceps and abs. And over 1 year it has helped me to get from this to this. But also keep in mind that changing and adjusting your training split and the exercises that you do will be very frequent at the beginning because you obviously have to find out what works best for you. A lot of people will say this plan, this training split, these exercises, but in the end you have to find what works best for you. And after around 2 months of testing and adjusting your training split and the exercises, you should settle down with at least one concrete training plan and then track your progress with it over the next few months. Then start to train at least 3 times a week. For this in the beginning, a push, pull and leg split is the best. You can just look it up on YouTube, there are thousands of videos on this. But you can also start with 5 days a week of training. The most important thing is that you don't overwork yourself and firstly cultivate training itself as a habit. The best way is with progressive overload, which I'll explain in a few seconds, but simply said, you stay at your current level, which would be 3 days a week of training, and then do them until you can execute them easily, and then add on another day and another day until you are at 5 or even 6 days of training a week. Again, a lot of people will tell you a lot of different plans and ways to train, but just try them out for yourself and then adjust them until they're perfect for you. The only thing you should include is at least 1 rest day per week, because resting and recovery is as important for building muscle as training itself. I personally would recommend 2 rest days per week, but as I said, just find out what works best for you. Your training sessions should be around 30 to 60 minutes. Training longer than this will train more of your cardio than your muscle and will make training itself time consuming and exhausting. And you're probably not out for being in competition, so around 45 minutes is a good mark to have. You can obviously split these 45 minutes into 2 or even 3 sessions per day that you can then plan better into your schedule. And when you have a bad day or little motivation, it is still far better to show up than to completely skip it. It doesn't matter if you just show up for 10 or 20 minutes as long as you train your body and your discipline to even go and work out on the bad days. This will still get you further than if you would have done nothing, and maybe it will even motivate you to train the full 45 minutes as well, so keep up with your plan and go to the gym to train. The most important thing at the beginning is to get to know the exercises themselves and to build a mind-muscle connection. Mind-muscle connection means that you can feel your muscles contracting every time you train your muscles. If you train chest, for example, then mind-muscle connection enables you to feel your chest contracting with every rep that you make and to solely focus on the movement of the chest. A good sign for mind-muscle connection is that it can exhaust your muscles more than normal with the same amount of reps and weight, and that you can relax and flex your muscles on command. Also, forgetting on which rep you're on is a very good sign as well. So first of all, pick a very light weight that you can do 20 or more reps with, and to then just only focus on the movement itself and on your muscles contracting with every rep that you make. Nobody is going to shame you for this, because everyone you see at the gym was once at the same point where you are right now. You see the biggest guy in your gym? He's probably the most nicest person in there, because he knows exactly what struggles you have to go through and appreciates that you want to work on yourself. So if you have a fear of going to the gym because you're at the start of your journey, then just remember that all of the people in there started at the same point as you. But to get back to training, after you've got to know the exercises and the movement to go through them, you should progressively overload your reps and weight. Progressive overload means to increase the workload of your training sessions. In the beginning you will make progress in like less than 2 weeks, so keep increasing your reps until you can do 15 in one set and then move on to a higher weight. Keep in mind that the rep count shouldn't go under 6 if your sole focus is to build muscle. Going below 6 reps will mostly train your strength and power. Going over 15 reps will train your cardio. But your goal is to build muscle, also known as hypertrophy, which is why the best rep range is between 6 and 15 reps. In general, it is a very good idea if you mix strength and hypertrophy training to progressively overload better and to build your strength, but to keep it simple you should simply focus on the latter. Also important is that you bring your muscles as close to failure as you possibly can. Failure doesn't mean your future son, but training until you physically can't do another rep. To simplify it, just do enough reps so that all the normal activities that you would do with this muscle are going to be a lot harder throughout the day. As Tom Platz puts it,
when I was totally disabled, I'd walk to the car, get in my old Corvette. The steering wheel was real big in the old Corvettes, you know? I could barely fit my legs underneath the steering wheel, but I could drive home. But I knew if I could barely make it to the car, that was a clue that you probably did enough. If you could dance to the car, get back in there, you know?
So try to push your muscles as close to failure as possible. The last thing is the rest time between your sets. Again, a lot of people will say this and that, but a general rule is that you should recover until you are ready to do the next set. This should take around 3 to 5 minutes of rest time. But after a very intensive set, you don't have to be ashamed if you have to rest 8 or even 10 minutes. Just relax yourself until you have enough strength to get into the next set. But you shouldn't get out of training mode and to the point where your muscles start to recover. You typically feel this when you relax after a run or something and your muscles start to get sore. So don't relax to the point where your muscles start to get sore and just recover your breath and strength. So that was it for the training. Let's get on to the nutrition part. A general thing that all people that start to train have to do is to eat more protein. Protein is the number one thing that builds your muscle. So to guarantee optimal muscle growth, you have to eat a lot more protein in your meals. Raw meat, porridge and nuts are foods that have a lot of protein in them and are very healthy to eat. If you want to have an easier way, then making shakes and foods with protein powder is the best way. They usually just cost a little bit more but are far more convenient. Then if you're overweight, you should focus on eating less fat in your meals. The other way goes for skinny people. For example, healthy fats are olive oil, nuts, avocados and beans. The most important thing is to drink enough water throughout the day. You lose a lot of water by training and sweating, so drinking enough water is essential for your body and even improves your performance in the gym. Getting a good eating plan definitely helps you in your training journey, but shouldn't be the first focus on your list. Firstly, just focus on the training itself and making it a habit, and then go over your eating habits. A lot of people only start with this after 1 whole year of training, so don't overdo yourself on the subject. As beneficial as your eating is your sleep. Your body only builds muscle while you sleep, so getting enough rest is very important for building muscle. I've already made a video on this which you could watch right after, but you need 8 hours of sleep every day. Going to bed at 12 PM and waking up at 10 AM is still more than 8 hours of sleep, but the sleep quality is still horrible and ruining all of your gains. So adjust your sleeping rhythm so that you can fully recover and effectively build muscle during the night. And now, all it takes is discipline and patience. The first year will be the best of your life because there you will make what a lot of people call newbie gains, which are as good as steroids. But after that, your ability to build muscle will decline and flatten out, which is totally normal. And don't let yourself get dragged down by all these influencers on Instagram and TikTok to take steroids or something else. The usage of the stuff can destroy your body and health more than it can help you, so definitely be careful around the stuff. With a lot of patience and discipline, you can also build a kind of body like they have, but it will probably take around 5 years or even more. So start with it now, because time is gonna pass anyway, no matter what you do. And it will give you so much health and psychic benefits that you will definitely not regret it. Always keep your focus on your purpose. See you next time.